Self-operating system building skills, the foundation of a sustainable business. In the journey of starting or building a business, many people mistakenly believe that success means doing everything themselves, from operations, customer service, and product development to accounting and marketing. However, the more one tries to take on, the more vulnerable the business becomes. A founder cannot work 24/7 forever, and certainly cannot manage every aspect indefinitely. To go far, a completely different mindset is required. Building a self-operating system where the work runs smoothly even when you're not around. If you can't build a self-operating system, you're not a leader, you're just an employee for your own business. Here's a truth many people don't want to face. You're working tirelessly day and night to support a business, yet you've never truly owned it. You think you're the leader, the decision maker, the one in charge. But ask yourself this: if you were to take a 1-week break, what would happen? Employees become confused, orders get delayed, customers complain, tasks pile up, and you're forced to return in exhaustion, to put out fires and patch up chaos in what you call your enterprise. In reality, you're not running the business. The business is running you. A truly sustainable system is one that continues to operate smoothly even when its founder is not present. But if everything revolves around you, depends on you, then no matter how talented you are, that business is merely a temporary shack built on human exhaustion, not on a solid foundation. And that foundation is the skill of building a self-operating system. Without it, you're just building a trap, and the one stuck inside it is you. Look deep into your self-respect. Will you spend your whole life carrying the entire business just to keep it breathing? Or will you become the person who creates a machine that runs even when you step away? Leadership is not about doing everything. It's about creating systems that ensure everything gets done correctly, consistently, and independently. Don't use the excuse, "Only I can do this," because that only proves you haven't learned how to train others. You haven't dared to delegate, and you haven't been brave enough to let go of the trivial in order to aim for something greater. True leadership lies in empowering others to perform better without needing your constant involvement. That's the true measure of capability. So if today you're still doing everything yourself, still getting drained by the unending cycle of tasks, ask yourself honestly, am I truly living up to the role I believe I hold? Or am I just a glorified owner who's actually an unpaid full-time employee? Don't let a title blind you from reality. Let your self-respect remind you. A true leader builds systems. They don't carry them. And if you're looking for the right direction, if you want to dive deeper into the mindset behind efficient, scalable business operations, then don't forget to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any valuable insights that help you evolve from a surface-level owner to a true master of your business. A self-operating system, a way for leaders to breathe while the organization keeps running smoothly. Many people, when starting their business journey, often choose to take on everything themselves. They believe that doing so ensures things are handled properly. This approach isn't wrong in the early stages. When resources are limited, the team is small, and the founder knows the product best. But over time, as the business grows, customers increase and the team expands. Continuing to shoulder everything alone turns the leader into a bottleneck. In a sense, they are holding back the very organization they are trying to grow. In this section, we won't focus on system design techniques, tools, or management charts. Instead, let's have an honest conversation from a more compassionate perspective about why a self-operating system matters so deeply, not only for the business's survival, but also for the well-being of the founder. When leaders are exhausted because they can't let go, do you feel drained even though your business seems to be doing well? Have you ever lain in bed at night with your mind racing? Unprocessed orders, unchecked marketing content, a staff member quitting, customer complaints, unfinished finances? Do you feel like everything depends on you, and without you, the entire system might fall apart? If so, you're not alone. This is the reality for many founders, especially in the first few years. They don't trust others to do things well, and gradually, they make themselves the mandatory piece in every process. Even when exhausted, they still can't let go for fear of mistakes, chaos, or disappointment. But the truth is, this fear of letting go is the very barrier preventing you from evolving. It leaves you no time to think long term, no space to grow the brand, no energy to develop your team. You're so busy spinning the wheel that you forget to build the wheel. And this, if prolonged, will quietly harm not only you, but the very people who believe in your leadership. A self-operating system lets leaders work less while the business works better. An effective operating system doesn't remove the leader's role. It frees the leader from repetitive tasks so they can focus on long-term value. It's a smart balance between people, processes, and technology where everyone knows their role, is empowered accordingly, works within clear frameworks, and moves towards shared goals. With a solid system, the founder can be absent and the business still functions. You can travel, take time off, study, or simply spend time with family without the fear that everything will collapse. This not only makes your life lighter, but also sets a healthy example for your team. It's important to realize that employees don't want to work in an environment where everything needs the boss's approval. They want clarity, stability, and trust. A good system creates emotional safety, allowing people to act proactively, grow confidently, and take ownership, rather than constantly seeking approval or fearing criticism. From I have to be there to, the system keeps things running. Getting to the point of having a self-operating system requires inner transformation first. It means shifting from, I have to control everything, to I build a structure that takes care of things for me. It means moving from, I am the center, to I design a center greater than myself. You'll need to document processes, delegate tasks to the right people, build step-by-step guides, and accept initial mistakes as part of training and system refinement. This isn't giving up responsibility. It's sharing responsibility and offering others a chance to grow. Strangely enough, the moment you take a step back and trust your team, the business often moves forward stronger. High-performing team members feel trusted and empowered. Those who don't fit will reveal themselves. And you, once buried in the daily grind, can now zoom out to see the big picture, to refine strategy and build the next level. Not to rest, but to prepare for bigger leaps. When people hear self-operating system, they often think it's about doing less. But in truth, this journey isn't about working less. It's about working smarter and reallocating your energy to things that matter more and last longer. You'll have the space to focus on product innovation, market expansion, nurturing key talent, and cultivating company culture. You might develop new skills or engage with other leaders to learn and grow. A good system lets you stop reacting to chaos and start acting with strategy. This is a key evolution for any leader, from someone fighting daily fires to someone who shapes the future from a clear, focused place. Freedom doesn't come from doing less, it comes from having a system. Everyone wants freedom, not just financial freedom, but freedom of time, thought, and emotion. But true freedom doesn't come from how much money you make or how many people report to you. It comes when you're no longer trapped in the very machine you created. And that only happens when you have the courage to pause and build the right system. You may not feel the urgency now. You're young, energetic, able to multitask, but you can't sustain that forever. Eventually, you'll face a choice: either burn out in a business that can't function without you, or slow down briefly to build a stronger, more sustainable foundation. You don't have to leap overnight. Start with one documented process, one delegated task, one system improvement meeting. True transformation doesn't happen with loud declarations, but with quiet, consistent decisions that change how your business breathes, grows, and lasts. Empowering your team to think in systems, the heart of self-operating organizations. One of the most overlooked elements when building a self-operating system isn't technology or process maps, it's people. Specifically, it's about nurturing a team that not only does their job, but understands how their job fits into a larger system. Without this, even the most well-designed structure will collapse under the weight of micromanagement, miscommunication, and misalignment. Systems, after all, aren't just a collection of documents or software. They are made up of humans who interpret, follow, and breathe life into those systems every day. And if those humans aren't trained or empowered to think systemically, the organization will always be fragile, overly dependent on a few individuals, and prone to inefficiencies. Let's dive deeper into why empowering your team with system thinking is not only essential, but transformative, from task execution to system awareness. Most employees are trained to complete tasks, answer customer emails, fulfill orders, create reports. But in a self-operating system, team members are encouraged to see the connections between their tasks and the entire workflow. For example, a customer support agent should not only solve issues, but also recognize patterns in complaints and propose adjustments to upstream processes. When employees think in systems, they become proactive problem solvers instead of passive task doers. They stop asking, "What do I do next?" and start asking, "How does this piece affect the whole? How can I improve the process, not just complete the task?" This shift in thinking creates a team culture that sustains itself. Errors are identified early. Improvements arise organically. New members integrate faster because documentation improves. The system becomes more resilient because everyone feels responsible for its evolution. Creating psychological safety to encourage feedback. A critical part of nurturing system-minded employees is psychological safety. That means creating an environment where people feel safe to speak up, suggest changes, and point out inefficiencies without fear of judgment or retaliation. If someone on your team sees a recurring error in the order process, but doesn't feel comfortable suggesting a change, your system will silently bleed resources, time, and trust. But when people know they can share insights and be heard, the system begins to adapt, evolve, and strengthen. In practical terms, this might mean regular team retrospectives to reflect on what's working and what's broken, anonymous feedback channels to catch things people are afraid to say out loud, leaders who listen more than they correct and ask, "What do you think we should try?" instead of giving orders. When employees feel like co-architects of the system, not just users of it, they bring their full intelligence to the table. System thinking requires training, not assumption. Many leaders assume that employees will figure it out if given enough time. But system thinking isn't natural for everyone. It requires structured guidance. That's why training your team to think in systems should be part of your growth strategy. Some ways to encourage this: workshops on process mapping, so employees understand how their tasks connect to others. Cross-functional shadowing, where employees spend time in other departments to see the bigger picture. Encouraging documentation by having each team member write down how they complete tasks, then review and refine as a group. Just like any other skill, coding, design, sales, thinking in systems needs space and support to grow. The more consistently you build it into your culture, the more natural it becomes. Delegation isn't just about workload, it's about ownership. Often, leaders hesitate to delegate because they fear mistakes or inefficiency. But in a self-operating system, delegation is the gateway to growth, not just for the leader, but for the entire team. When team members are given clear roles, measurable outcomes, and the autonomy to improve their area, they begin to own their part of the system. This ownership mindset changes everything. Instead of saying, "That's not my job," employees start thinking, "How can I make this work better?" Instead of needing supervision, they offer solutions. Instead of resisting change, they initiate it. Of course, this requires clarity. Ownership doesn't mean chaos. It means clear KPIs aligned with each role, freedom to adjust how work is done as long as the outcome is met, encouragement to improve the system, not just comply with it. A well-delegated system not only reduces your workload, it multiplies the organization's intelligence and responsiveness. Embedding system thinking into hiring and culture. You can't build a self-operating system without people who are aligned with your mindset. That's why you should embed system thinking into your hiring, onboarding, and daily culture. When interviewing new candidates, look for people who ask why, not just what. People who've previously improved processes in their roles. People who seek patterns and structure, not just tasks. During onboarding, introduce not only what the company does, but how the system works and how each role contributes to its flow. Frame every role not just as a set of duties, but as a living component in a larger design. Over time, reinforce this through recognition. Celebrate not only performance, but process improvement. Acknowledge not only individual achievement, but contributions that make the whole system stronger. That's how cultures shift, from reactive, dependent teams to proactive, self-operating ones. Empowering your team to think in systems is not a quick fix, it's a philosophy. It takes time, trust, and patience. But once it takes root, it becomes the strongest force driving long-term sustainability. Because systems don't run on instructions alone, they run on people who understand how things work and care enough to make them better. A self-operating system is not about control, it's about liberation. When people hear the word system, many instinctively associate it with rigidity, restriction, and a loss of freedom. They fear that creating detailed procedures, step-by-step manuals, or implementing management software will turn their organization into a mechanical machine where each person is just a gear being monitored, evaluated, and stripped of creativity. But the truth is the opposite. A self-operating system isn't meant to control people. It exists to liberate them from chaos, uncertainty, and dependency. A well-functioning system acts as the skeleton that holds the organization together, allowing each individual to stretch, grow, and thrive with freedom and responsibility. True freedom doesn't come from doing whatever you want, whenever you want. It comes from clarity, knowing where you stand, what you need to do, and how to do it well, on your own terms. Systems eliminate confusion and ambiguity. In an organization without a clear system, everything happens based on gut feeling or improvisation. Today, one person handles things this way. Tomorrow, another person does it differently. New hires don't know where to begin. Senior staff constantly get interrupted to explain things. Every time there's an issue, the same questions come up. What do we do now? Who handles this? What's the right way to proceed? Energy and time are not spent on doing the actual work, but on figuring out how to work. A clear system removes this ambiguity by standardizing procedures, assigning roles and responsibilities, clarifying execution methods, and setting clear expectations for outcomes. As a result, team members work with confidence rather than confusion, knowing their position and purpose within the organization. Systems let talented people soar. In an unstructured environment, high performers often find themselves stuck doing low-value tasks. They spend time repeating instructions, fixing others' mistakes, or handling work that isn't really theirs, simply because no one else can do it right. Over time, this leads to burnout, frustration, and eventually, departure. A well-designed system frees top talent from the noise so they can focus on high-impact work. When everyone follows a clear process, when the system ensures each step is executed properly, skilled individuals are no longer stuck putting out fires. Instead, they can channel their energy into innovation, market expansion, or mentoring future leaders. That's how you retain talent, not by making them feel irreplaceable in chaos, but by creating a place where they can grow and contribute meaningfully. Systems help newcomers adapt quickly. New hires in a disorganized company often struggle to keep up, not just with the work, but with the culture and expectations. Without a clear system, they have to guess, ask repeatedly, and inevitably make preventable mistakes. A strong system allows new employees to integrate quickly. With clear onboarding documents, transparent workflows, and user-friendly tools, they can start contributing without constant supervision. This not only saves time, but also gives them a sense of security and confidence early on, a crucial factor in motivation and long-term retention. Systems don't kill creativity, they guide it. Many people think structure and creativity are opposites, but in reality, creativity cannot thrive in chaos. True innovation comes from having a stable base, a framework to build upon, bend, or even break when needed. A good system provides the safe space for creativity to flourish. When people know where they stand and what's expected, they're more empowered to ask, how can I do this better? A flexible system not only allows for creativity, but welcomes it, absorbing improvements back into the workflow, so the organization evolves naturally and continuously. So if you're hesitant to build systems because you fear restricting people, it's time to shift your perspective. Systems are not chains. They are the structure that frees each person to grow in the right role, in the right way, at the right time. And only when individuals feel liberated, not trapped within the framework of the organization, can the whole system move forward with purpose and strength. Automating the repetitive, freeing the organization's energy for growth. One of the clearest signs that a business is not yet self-operating is when people are buried in repetitive tasks. manual data entry, order confirmations, follow-up emails, status checks, inventory counting, and so on. While these actions are essential for day-to-day functioning, they consume time, drain energy, and occupy valuable human attention that could be used for innovation and strategic work. Over time, this constant repetition becomes a silent weight, slowing down the entire organization. A self-operating system doesn't eliminate these tasks, it automates them wherever possible. And in doing so, it frees the team to focus on the work that requires thought, empathy, creativity, and leadership. This shift from doing to designing changes how the business breathes, grows, and sustains itself. Repetition is not the problem, wasting human potential. There's nothing inherently wrong with repetitive tasks. They form the backbone of operational stability. The problem lies in assigning human effort to what technology can do faster, more accurately, and consistently. If your team is spending hours every week sending out the same type of report, reminding customers of appointments, or transferring data between platforms, then they're being underutilized. These tasks can and should be automated through systems like CRM software, workflow automation tools, bots, or even simple scripts. The goal isn't to replace people, it's to elevate people by removing unnecessary friction. When you automate the routine, you allow your team to rise above it. Automation reduces errors and increases consistency. Manual work often leads to inconsistencies. Someone forgets to send an email. Data is entered incorrectly. A report is delayed. These may seem like small problems in isolation, but in the long run, they build up and damage the customer experience, internal trust, and efficiency. Automation introduces standardization, whether it's sending a welcome message to new customers, generating monthly reports, or assigning tasks based on form submissions. An automated system does it the same way every time. This predictability builds trust both internally and externally. Clients feel taken care of. Employees know what to expect. Managers spend less time double-checking or following up. More importantly, your team starts to focus not on catching mistakes, but on improving the experience and identifying new opportunities. Scaling becomes possible only through automation. One of the biggest obstacles to growth is dependency on manual processes. As customer volume grows, so do the tasks. If everything has to be done by hand, every new customer is also a new burden. This limits how fast and how far a business can scale. Automation flips that equation. A well-designed system can handle 5 customers or 5,000 because the underlying process is built to scale, not just survive. Order confirmations can go out automatically. Onboarding sequences can run in the background. Feedback loops can trigger without anyone needing to be present. By automating these areas, your business becomes more resilient and ready to grow without always hiring more people or adding more hours. Automation doesn't mean disconnection. It means thoughtful design. A common fear about automation is that it removes the human touch. But in truth, thoughtful automation enhances human interaction, not replaces it. For example, an automated system can track when a customer hasn't engaged in 30 days and notify a team member to check in personally. It can send tailored content based on a user's preferences. It can free your customer service team from basic inquiries so they can spend more time resolving complex or emotional issues with care. The best systems blend automation for efficiency with humans for depth. This balance ensures that your business runs smoothly, but never feels robotic. Repetitive tasks are part of every business, but how you handle them defines whether your organization is reactive or strategic. By leveraging automation not just as a tool, but as a mindset, you unlock space, mental, emotional, and operational, for the people in your company to do what only humans can do: connect, create, and lead. A system doesn't just help the business survive, it helps the leader truly live. Many people start a business with the dream of freedom. Freedom of time, financial independence, the ability to live life on their own terms, and pursue what they love. But after a few years of running the business, they're hit with a bitter truth. The very business they built to gain freedom is now consuming their entire life. No days off, no peaceful evenings, no proper vacations, no restful sleep. They're not truly living. They're simply surviving inside a machine that never stops. And the root cause isn't the amount of work, it's the absence of one essential thing: a self-operating system. everything in the business still relies heavily on people, and most of all, on the founder themselves. A good system means things still run smoothly. Even when you're absent, you might think that only when you personally check every detail can things go right. Only when you approve every decision can customers be satisfied. Only when you're present can your team perform properly. But that's not power. That's limitation. A truly mature business is one where the founder can step away for days or weeks, and the operations continue without disruption. Processes are standardized, roles are clear, workflows are documented, systems are in place, and most importantly, everyone knows how to function independently within the bigger picture. That is what real freedom looks like for a business owner. A system doesn't just protect the business, it protects you. No leader can sustain long-term success if they are constantly running at full capacity. No one can remain healthy while living in a constant state of urgency, stress, and exhaustion. No one can stay mentally sharp when every day is about putting out fires. A system is like a protective shield, guarding you from the chaos you created unintentionally. When work is distributed clearly, tasks are repeatable and measurable, and tools are in place to monitor progress. You can step back to rest, recharge, learn, and think strategically. You're no longer stuck in the small details, the late emails, or the delayed orders, because you know the system can handle it. And when you are protected, your business is protected, because nothing is more dangerous than a burnt-out leader trying to keep everything afloat. True freedom comes from a business that runs without you. Have you ever imagined a day when you don't have to do the work yourself, yet the business still grows? Have you dreamed of going on a trip with your family while receiving automated reports? Of resting, reading, and learning new skills, while your team continues to operate every department smoothly? This isn't a fantasy. It's the natural result of a business that has been patiently and intelligently built to be self-operating, scalable, resilient, and not dependent on any one person. A system is the bridge that takes you from being a struggling business owner to becoming a true leader with control over your time and future. If you're feeling overwhelmed, burnt out, or stuck in the daily grind, take that as a signal. It's time to start building the system. It may be challenging at first. It may take time, resources, and even feel uncomfortable, but it is the only investment that buys you long-term freedom for both you and your business. And if these words resonate with you, if they've inspired even a small spark of reflection or motivation, don't forget to leave a like, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications to continue walking this path together. Let's not just build a sustainable business, let's also build a life truly worthy of all your effort.